Before we get started in any of our other training, I want to talk about quality time or chill time or focus work or blank space time, whatever you want to call it. It's really important that we have this in our training. This is the time where we get to let the horse chill, let down, soak on what we've just been working on, and ultimately become a real partner and engaged with us instead of having a feeling like they're being kind of pushed and pressured into work all the time. So to start off with here, I just had a nice little bit of a time of rubbing Oliver. He doesn't like his face to be touched, so I like to spend a bit of time having him enjoy that. So when we're working, oftentimes I'll send them off or do a little bit of something, whatever we're working on, and then I will bring them in to have some quality time. Whether that is standing away from me and just taking all the pressure off, maybe it's giving them a scratch, maybe it's giving them a treat, whatever you feel is right for the moment. So for Oliver, or for some horses, you might find that they want to be on top of you all the time. So it's really important that you just kind of observe that, but don't really do too much to correct it. What we want to look at is that at the end of our training, can our horse be in close to us and out away from us? Or for the horse that can only stay out away from us, we want to see that over time they can feel confident and safe enough to be in close to us as well as out away from us. So while your horse is out there, we want to be looking at their calming signals or stress indicators. You may have heard this term used before, but basically what we're looking for is our horse stressed out and tense, or is it relaxed? And you'll start to learn by just observing your horse of their little signs. So these aren't always the big things like the flight reactions that we see, and the yawning, licking, chewing doesn't always necessarily mean that our horse is relaxed either. It's a lot about context as well. So when the horse comes in to stop, what I'm looking for is that they're beginning to let down, that they're starting to breathe. I'm looking to see what their eyes are doing, because oftentimes a horse that has still eyes is a very subtle stress indicator that is overlooked. So I want to see that their eyes are nice and soft and engaged as well, not kind of like blank and not moving. So again here I bring Oliver in for a little bit of quality time. I'm just asking him to stand away from me so that he's not mugging me for treats all the time, and just waiting. You can see he kind of froze a little bit there and paused, and then he's slowly starting to let down. His head drops a little. I like as well that he's still alert. I don't want to see a horse that is completely tuned out and just dull. So when we introduce doing quality time into our work, whether that's our groundwork or our ridden work, we start to see the horse become engaged. So oftentimes people have problems with their horses doing things like looking out on a circle or being in a funny shape on the circle. Perhaps they've got their rib cage dropped to the inside, or their hip to the inside, or their shoulder to the inside, and they're not bent nicely around that circle. Well, introducing quality time kind of fixes that, because to me, what the horse is saying when it's looking to the outside or it's not engaged with us is they'd rather not be here with us. But when we create a place of peace and calm for the horse to feel, they start to look for that, because after all, that is what our horses want, is to have peace and the pressure taken off them. So before you know it, you'll start to see things like them coming up to you to be caught, looking in on the circle, more engaged with their work, all of those kind of mental things that we can't necessarily train into them, but we can start to create by the way we are with our horse. It's just like with people. If we're with somebody who puts pressure on us all the time, we don't really want to be with them. But if we're with somebody who's got a really nice feel about them, we're kind of drawn to wanting to be with them. So it's the same for our horses. Create a space that your horse wants to be with. And of course, giving them that time to process. You can see there that Oliver's starting to let down. He's breathing a bit deeper. And of course, doing some licking and chewing there. And I'm adding in some treats too. So depending on what your horse likes, so learn what your horse loves. So for some horses that might just be a release of pressure. For other horses they might be really motivated by treats, or some horses might be motivated by scratches in their scratchy spot. So find out what they enjoy and incorporate that into your quality time as well. So again here I'm doing a little bit of something else with Oliver. I'm popping the flag on him, which you will see in week 2's content. In this video I just kind of wanted to demonstrate how we can incorporate quality time into all of our exercises. So making sure we're doing a little bit and rewarding often. That's beautiful. So hopefully that makes sense for you. If you've got any questions about quality time, then feel free to send me a message and ask about it. But I think you will find that quality time is pretty darn cool.